Alright, so does anyone else find themselves stuck in a cycle of reverse rationalization where you might act in a certain way or do something and then rationalize backwards from that point? Like take eating fast food for example. Let's say one day you're hungry and you're looking for something to eat. So you hit the Chick-fil-A drive-thru and you get yourself a chicken sandwich, no pickles, a 12-count of nuggets, some waffle fries, and a medium milkshake. You know, just hypothetically speaking. Now you know this isn't the healthiest option, but maybe you tell yourself, oh, you know what? My usual diet doesn't contain a lot of protein, so I really just needed protein. Or, you know, I don't actually eat that much fast food on a regular basis, so this is just a nice little treat. No, I didn't pull up to the drive-thru because I have a Chick-fil-A addiction, or that this is just a moment of weakness where I succumbed to my cravings that make me do things that I know aren't healthy or good for me. It's definitely not any of that. I just needed protein. So this might not be the best example because in this scenario, there's obviously a right versus wrong, but it still pretty clearly demonstrates what reverse rationalization is. You do something and then you rationalize backwards from the action and justify why you did it. So like I said, in the fast food situation, there's a pretty clear right versus wrong. But what if you're dealing with a situation where the right versus wrong isn't so clear cut? Alright, so I know I've already spent several videos complaining about my workout routine and how I just can't figure this whole thing out, and I would like to say that I'm not going to spend another video doing just that, but that would be a lie. But the reason I have to talk about it again is because this is the area where I reverse rationalize the most. And it's an area where right versus wrong is very ambiguous. Because when you're comparing workout routines, there isn't a definitive good choice and a definitive bad choice. They're just choices. But let me explain what I mean. So basically for me, the process goes like this. I'll be consistently doing a workout routine for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. And it always starts out well. I have a lot of hope that this workout routine is gonna help me achieve my goals. But at a certain point, I'll start to realize that I'm not really making any progress, or this routine is taking up way too much of my day, or it's too hard to motivate myself to continue doing this routine, or this routine is forcing me to neglect other aspects of my workout that I think are important, or any myriad of problems that come along. And so I'll start to tailor a new plan that will hopefully help me solve the problems that I was experiencing in my old one. And as soon as I start that new plan, the reverse rationalization process begins. I'll start thinking to myself, oh, this plan is so much better. This new plan allows me to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, where my old plan only allowed me to do A, B, and C. It's so obvious that this plan is superior in every way. If only I'd been doing this plan the entire time. And I'll have all of these thoughts that basically just rationalize for me why this new plan is so much better than my old one. And for those first couple of weeks and months, everything is sweet until I get to that point where I start to realize that, oh, you know what? I'm not making any progress. I'm not achieving my goals. This plan is taking up too much of my day. It's getting hard to motivate myself to continue with this plan. This plan neglects these other parts of my workout that I think I need to be doing. And it is right back to the drawing board. And that's where I start to feel so stupid for thinking that this plan was superior in any way to my old one. And so the cycle repeats itself. I start tailoring again. I find a new plan. And immediately the reverse rationalization starts to happen. And I can't help it. It just happens automatically, even if I tell myself not to do it. And what makes this even dumber and more frustrating is that there have been times where I've gone from the new plan directly back to the original plan and then reverse rationalized why my original plan was better than the new one. And it's in those moments that not only do I feel like a complete idiot, but I also realize that this whole reverse rationalization process can be toxic and also dangerous. Because when I initially switched to the new plan, I felt so strongly that this plan was superior to my old one. Every fiber in my being was telling me that this was the direction that we needed to go, that this plan would get me to my destination. So for me to realize weeks or months later that this plan is actually not superior, that it's actually not getting me any closer to my goals than my previous plan, and then for me to go back to the old plan and feel that same sense of superiority where every fiber in my being is telling me that this is the direction that I need to go in order to reach my destination, that's a pretty weird feeling, man, that I can feel the exact same enthusiasm for two separate plans that are contradictory in most ways. And so I had to ask myself, well, okay, why do I feel like that? What is causing this feeling of me thinking that I'm moving in the right direction every time I switch my plans? And the cause behind that feeling is this inescapable process of reverse rationalization. Because reverse rationalization presents the illusion of progress, even if there isn't actual progress being made. The reality is that you can rationalize anything, but that doesn't make it true. And so that is the reason why I'm making this video, because I want to stop reverse rationalizing things, but I don't know how. Like I said before, this is an involuntary process. It happens automatically. Every time I make a change or an adjustment to something that I was doing, the process just clicks in. And this doesn't only happen with my workouts. A few months ago, I made a video titled Scripted versus Unscripted. And basically in that video, I just reverse rationalized why shooting these videos unscripted was just superior in every way to shooting them scripted. At least for me. Well, guess what? I'm back to scripting my videos. I mean, it's a little bit different now. What I write is more of an outline, not necessarily a full script. Like, I won't write out each line and how I'm gonna deliver it. It's essentially just the bullet points of what I'm gonna talk about in the video. Basically, I realized that my short-term memory is absolute trash garbage and that I needed to write down at least some of the points that I was gonna try and make throughout the video so that I could have a reference as I'm filming. But this still demonstrates my point, because at that time, I was 100% sure that going unscripted was the right thing for me to do. But here I am writing out my bullet points, even though at that time I considered doing so tedious and completely unnecessary. And what's crazy is that in that video, I was trying to be self-aware of this reverse rationalization. And I say all this knowing that next week I could be like, well, that didn't work, and go right back to writing scripts for all of my videos. I should be a little bit more balanced. There are pros and cons of both. And this video is basically me listing all the pros of doing it unscripted and all the cons of doing it scripted. But that still didn't stop me from believing that doing these videos unscripted was undeniably the right choice. And so I've tried to be aware of the reverse rationalization process for months now. And so coming back to my workouts, I try to employ that same awareness. But it's a catch-22, because why would I make the changes if I didn't feel like these changes were superior to what I was already doing? And so this whole thing is basically me just trying to move away from feeling like these changes that I'm making are superior to definitively knowing that they are, because these feelings come from this reverse rationalization process. And as I've already talked about, this process presents an illusion, not the reality. And I'm just tired of unintentionally telling myself a story that what I'm doing now is better than what I was doing before, only to realize weeks or months later that nope, it actually isn't. It's just an exhausting cycle to continuously go through. And so I guess I just needed to vent, because I don't know if there even is a solution. Like I said, this process just starts up on its own whenever I make a change, even if I'm aware that it's happening. And so this may just be another inevitability that I have to get used to, like tunnels or Thanos.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
So yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for this one. If you made it this far, thank you for indulging me. I'd really be interested to know if anybody else gets caught in these cycles. And if so, what do you do to deal with it or combat it or just get over it? Because yeah, I've been thinking about this for a year now and I don't have any solutions. So any help would be much appreciated. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And with that said, I wish you all the very best going forward. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.